Welcome everyone to the final episode of Fireside Yarns 2021.
The last one.
The last one before
The
New
last
Year's.
dab.
So, as always, we've got our three hosts. I'm Vinno. We've got Reese and Dave. Reese, how are you, my man?
Mate, on top of the world.
On top of the world.
What a year.
What, mate? We are going to talk about that this episode. It's going to be lit, like I am right now. Listen, okay? Just giving you the fucking red hot deal. Davey, how are you, my man?
Yeah, man, good. Sad, you know, it's our last ever episode of the year.
Yeah. Fireside's done.
Yeah.
That's the clickbait title.
Fireside Yarns episode 1. It's a fucking milestone. It's
So 20.
Yeah, so, but before we get into that, boys, how was your Christmas? How was yours, Reese? I know you had your dad and your sister and family coming around, man. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I had such a good day.
Yeah?
It was.
I've seen videos.
It was very lit.
I got a picture from him in the very early morning, and it was just him with a VB. I was like, he is having a good one.
Yeah. Nah, it was absolutely cracking day, man. It was good weather. I think I was doing shots of rum at about 11 a.m.
Drinking some of Hicks's homemades, fucking.
Chasers for the shots, right? That's what I do. Then I put the Hicks homemade in, and I squeeze lemon in my eye.
I'm pretty sure the old boy was definitely putting it on so he didn't look like a soft cunt. But
I've seen that video, and look, we've given it a rundown, and we definitely have come to the conclusion that Dave Thielander is pretending.
he's the man.
No, he's pretending.
He's got to be, man. Because, like,
dude,
look,
he took that like a boss.
He did. He really did. And, man.
We should tell everyone that we're talking about is a chili tasting. Yeah. You hadn't mentioned what he... Yeah.
Look, they've got to watch episode 19 to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's inside shit. Yeah.
Inside shit. No, look, it was fucking hot. It was fucking hot.
See, and you thought that I was putting it on last week. Like, you thought that I was having a fucking...
No, I believed you. I mean, 40 Carolina Reapers is...
Yeah.
That's serious chili, man. That's nothing to, to shy at.
And a bottle. Yeah.
So they weren't... I was talking to Stouty this afternoon. I was actually at the club having beers with Stouty minutes before this episode. And he gave me some inside information into that. So they weren't even the biggest Reapers that he had. He just picked those so that because Hicksy was harassing him, or not harassing him, but asking him for them. So he reckons that the biggest ones that he's had, are nowhere near the size of the ones that he gave Hicksy. And that was only half the batch.
40 fucking chilies, dude.
Yeah, man.
A mad looking them fucking Carolina Reapers. They look like a brain with a little stem coming out the bottom of them. They look evil. They look like Krang from Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all shrivelly heads. Yeah. So beautiful though.
Yeah. So he's got more on the way. He's got more on the way.
California Reapers.
That being said, very tasty. It was
dude, the initial taste, the initial flavors that hit your tongue are amazing, aren't they? Like,
and your tongue fries off, but
look, for those first 10 seconds, it's a fucking... So if you have his sweet chili sauce, his milder sauce, I would say it's the same flavor without the extra heat. But if you like a hot sauce, then definitely I'd be getting the Carolina Reaper sauce off him. But even the chilies that I used to give him, which was just Thai chilies, the flavors
they still get hot, man. Thai chilies.
Thai chilies can get hot, and again, how much? What's the blend? If you've got heaps of them in.
Mate,
but for me, I love
KFC. It's a special recipe.
Yeah, because it's like you got your flavor, then you got your fucking struggle, and then you've got your torture the next day, and then you forget and repeat.
He did ask me about this afternoon.
Yeah.
And look, I ate a teaspoonful, like a full teaspoon.
So mine was only a half. Mine was,
I did a full teaspoon, and I did feel it the next day, but it wasn't bad. It was like, if I was to have more, like if I was to eat like a whole batch of chicken wings or something with that, I'd be in pain.
Yeah.
What did you sandwich it with? You know what I mean? I feel like you could sandwich it in your gut with something. You could eat something beforehand and then something afterwards. Then hopefully it will be in the middle of the shit on the way out. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there was
like a little
layer,
like ravioli,
layer of like VB, rum, whatever number 33 liqueur is.
So it's already looking pretty sloppy.
Can you imagine VB battling it out? With the chilies.
Yeah, fucking come on, mate. I fucking got you back.
Eat that so hot.
Yeah, there was a good liquid layer, and then there was a little bit of like ham and pork and stuff on top of that.
The pigs came to the rescue.
More VB and more Jack Daniels.
Look, even the fucking...
And then more ham and pork.
Even the thought of that smell is making me sick.
I love it, yeah. A VB ham and pork. Yeah.
I did also make buffalo sauce today, and I actually used Hicksy's Worcestershire in it.
So beautiful.
He's Worcestershire, man. Like, yeah, you can't go past
Dad was loving that, man. We had like ham steaks and eggs the next day for breakfast, and I struggled to eat it. But Dad was just the Worcestershire on everything.
So if
it's got boy, more than your normal Worcestershire sauce. It's got a little bit of boy, and I think that's what wins it for me. And the consistency, it's not as watery as other fucking Worcestershire sauces.
Even his tomato sauce, even his tomato relish and stuff, man, it's on point.
You relish in the relish.
Oh, mate. He does a fantastic job. Not only a fucking awesome bloke, but yeah, really good at his sauce, and he takes pride in it, and that's the big thing. So, I mean, he's
a fine piece of ass too.
He loves being busy, so harass him for sauce.
He is, he's got some openings now in the next couple of weeks, so everyone I would do it now like it's toilet paper. Like it's toilet paper in a pandemic, guys.
He only got those chilies that afternoon, so I only found this out today. He only got those chilies that afternoon, and he was on my doorstep that night with the sauce. He was that proud of it. He knew we were recording. He knew we were doing an episode, and he wanted to showcase it. He was that proud of it.
Couldn't time it better, really,
mate. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Hicksy.
He's the Hicksy.
He's the fucking Hicksy.
Thank you, Monk. Thank you.
You creepy bastard.
And while we're at it,
here's to Dave.
Yeah, finally. Vinno, I didn't see you clink there again.
He doesn't. He's
You're an hour late. And rude.
Well, I've done enough. I've done enough cheers.
Party and rude.
Done enough cheers to Dave's in the fucking cod after party. But
no,
Dave, how was your Christmas? How was your Christmas?
Yeah, really good. We did the Christmas day with my in-laws. That was amazing. Again, at the ham, my brother-in-law Jared does these little curried eggs. Like it's half. He cuts the fucking eggs in half, and then he fills it up with the filling of fucking the yolk and this curry shit he makes. It's unreal.
Nice.
Turkey, everything, beers, back garden, kid running around. Brilliant day. The next day we had basically like another Christmas fucking dinner again. Ham, turkey at my parents' place with my brother, his missus and the little fella and me parents. Fucking great awesome. Couple of days recovering, but food, lads.
Oh man,
the fucking food, man. It's hey man, I've still got them. After this, when I'm smashed later tonight, I'm gonna be eating more of them. I got a little tray. I was curried eggs off them because I always hammer them for when you're making them. Make us a little bit more there, Jared, because they're the shit, man.
Fuck
yeah. Oh boy, left the hand.
I'll be smashing them later. They'll have curry stains up my face. look like a mustard joker. But nah, it's gonna be good, man. I had a good time though. I had a good Christmas. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. No, that's what I want to hear, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know, you had to work and that shit, but how was your day?
Look, yeah, I had to work. Right. There's reasons behind that I won't go into, but yeah, I had to work. All I wanted for Christmas was to see my little bloke open his presents, which I got to do.
Yeah.
And then I got to spend the afternoon with him as well. So,
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, I got hit in the head with a foam sword because he was up and got into his stocking and found that Santa had left him a foam sword. So that woke us up and we got to go out and do the presents and all that sort of stuff. And then I had to go to work. But then that afternoon I got home. We went down to a mate of mine's place, had a few beers and whatnot.
Nice.
He got a little electric motorbike for Christmas, so him and I walked and he rode that down. Now, the thing I loved most about that was how much that dude was vibing out at the Crazy Frog theme song. You remember that fucking Axel Foley Crazy Frog?
Yeah.
So that plays on the motorbike, man. So we're going down to my mate's place and it's down the hill and he's got a red hat on, sunglasses. He had a pair of overalls and nothing underneath, right? So he was chilled out as he was. And we're cruising down the road and he's on his little motorbike and yeah, that song's playing. He's bobbing to it and I just went, yeah, this is fucking Christmas, man. Like, this is awesome. Because I had a beer in my hand, like, we're cruising.
What else are you going to do on Jesus' birthday?
Yeah,
you know?
he was having a great time. He was having a great time. I was enjoying just being with him. So that was cool. And then after that, we went across to my brother's place and had dinner over there and finished the night before we came home. So, yeah, look, even though I worked, man, it was a fucking good day. So, we'd done Christmas, like the big family Christmas the weekend before.
That's right, yeah.
But the Christmas Day, especially, you know, with the excitement of Santa coming and all those sorts of things.
And he's at that age now. Mate. He's at that age where it's starting to be fucking special.
Yes.
But
so the night before,
they still know what's going on.
Yeah. But you got that morning. That's the most important part of it all, I reckon.
And that was the thing. So the day before, I was a little bit pissed off when I finished work because I thought that I was starting too early. So with my job, I can move my starting hours on the day, right? So when I left work, I thought that I was starting too early, that I was going to miss that. As it turned out, on the day we actually got moved back, so my starting hours changed.
And he's up at 4. That helps,
man.
You know.
Well, what that did, what that allowed, like even if I had been starting at the time that I originally had been told, I would have seen him for half an hour, right? But as it was, I got to spend a good portion of the morning with him. With his presents and him seeing and see he got a swing set for Christmas from Santa, which Santa set up in the garage the night before. So,
did that as well. What a legend.
Yeah. So
all the time in the world.
A sexy bastard.
Yeah. So
no wonder he's bald.
Him running out there, is he there? Or does he just shave?
He's allegedly, yeah.
So seeing him run out that back door and then just stop dead in his tracks, man, when he saw that swing set, because he's played on other kids' swing sets. Seeing that's Christmas for me. You know, like.
Hell yeah, man.
As a parent, or as you get older, you sort of lose a little bit of that Christmas spirit, I suppose you'd say. But once you become a parent, and those of our listeners and watchers that are parents would understand, you know, seeing that magic again brings a whole new meaning to it. You know, because you know you live it through them. So
yeah, it's a different vantage point now. It even, in a way, you're behind the curtains a bit. You're the Wizard of Oz a bit more now.
Yeah,
but it means so much more. And like you were saying, I had that with a big trampoline kind of moment.
You know, if
they see it,
you're one of those people that takes that magic away from somebody in that regard, then you need to stop and check yourself, because, you know, if you're a parent and you don't get to spend that time with somebody because somebody else's selfishness, and you need to go and that person needs to go and they need to get the fuck out. They need to stop and have a look at themselves and just think, you know, what's the best thing for my child? Let's stop thinking about myself for 5 minutes. Let's start thinking about my child and that other person, because there's only a certain few number of years that you get to spend that magic with somebody. And if you're going to be that obstacle in the way of that child spending that time with another parent, a father, then get the fuck out. And I'm not going to hold back on that, because there's certain circumstances where there is one particular parent that is an obstacle in a relationship where they hold and they use a child as a weapon. And if you're one of those people that is listening and you know what I'm talking about, then fucking sort yourself out. And that's where I'm going to leave it. That's all I'm going to say. Because...
And it hurts more this time of year, yeah. But this is a year fucking long thing. That's birthdays, that's special occasions, that's first days of school, that's... You name it. All the grandparents.
Even the grandparents that have sat there their whole life, you know, they've raised their kids, and all they've wanted is to see their grandchild on Christmas Day.
The next line.
Or even be involved in that, and being denied that by some selfish fucking prick. If you're that selfish fucking prick, smack your head against the wall, get the fuck out, and think about the child. Don't think about yourself. I've said this numerous times over the years.
Like, as an adult too, like, it hurts, but you learn to live with it, and you know, an adult can process and understand things children can't understand.
They can't. And learning to live with something, Reese, you shouldn't have to learn to live with something like that. It should be a case that both parents, despite their indifferences
or disagreements,
should be thinking about the child first and not using that child as a weapon against the other person. So they should be, whatever their discrepancy is, right, putting that aside and being a mature parent or adult and going, right, the best thing for my child is that they see both parents on Christmas Day, and they get the opportunity to see all of their family on Christmas Day, not just Christmas Day, all throughout the year. Because whatever my problem is with the other person is my problem, not the child's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
right. So,
and I'm sure there's compromises to be made. I'm sure every second year it can be switched, and then there can be a Boxing Day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's ways of doing things, but
absolutely,
the situations you're talking about are far more insidious, right?
They need to be. I don't mean to bring down the episode, but I think it needs to be called out, because
it's that time of year.
There's plenty of opportunities. There's so many things. You know, Christmas is a special time, and as I highlighted, those few hours and that bit of time that I got to spend with my family on Christmas Day, even though I'd had the Christmas Day beforehand, right? That was magic. You know, seeing my son walk out and seeing the Christmas tree full, you know, his stocking full, even if it meant getting fucking smacked in the head by a foam sword. It's magic. You know, and I can remember that as a kid, right? And as a kid, I used to be the first person up. And my parents will tell you this, like, I was the one that was fucking up, harassing everyone, like, oi, get up, your stocking's full.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. My first drum kit I ever got was on Christmas Day, man. And I remember fucking waking everybody up, smashing on that fucking thing. Like, and our rule was you didn't open a present until your mum and dad got up.
Everyone was there.
Yep. Yeah, but no, fuck that.
This is going to bring me to something. This is going to bring me to something, because, so obviously, your rule, you know, as kids, you didn't get to open presents until the parents were up. Mine was kind of the same. You know, we weren't allowed to just go out and rip in. Like, you got to wait for the parents to.
You could have your stocking. You could have your stocking first, but you couldn't open your presents. Yeah.
What about you, Dave? What was it in your house?
So we, this was all back in Dublin, the Santi days, right? And we lived in a two-story little house. So we were all awake at fucking 4-5. Me and my little brother were like, all right. And the deal was we can't go downstairs. We cannot go downstairs, because if you go downstairs, then Santa won't come. So you have to go in to meet Dad and say, hey, Dad, can you check if Santa's been here? Now, this is his idea. So most mornings he'd get up and be like, oh, yeah. Now, that was his excuse to go down.
You clever motherfucker.
He'll turn the tree on. He'll do all the little things and make it look like, you know, and then he'd be like, all right, Santa's been here. Or he'd be like, He'll go down, tired as
Go
fuck.
back to bed.
Come back and he's like, Santa's not here, get the fuck back.
Oh,
And he said, "You have to
clever.
go back to
Because
bed too." Yeah.
you see, for the last few years, this has been a thing because Hannah and her family, as kids, weren't allowed to open their presents in the morning.
Oh,
Because, and I kind of get why. I kind of get it. I don't agree with it, but I kind of get it.
What did they do in the morning? Yeah.
Their rule was because for kids, obviously, opening presents is like the best part of the day, right?
mm.
So once you've done that, there's not really anything exciting for the rest of the day. So they were like, they wait till after lunch before
Okay.
opening presents to keep the excitement
Yeah, okay.
for longer during the day. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
I can get behind that.
Shit, but I get it.
It's, yeah. But
So-
what do they
so,
do?
yeah.
So you get up, do they have like a thing where we all have Christmas breakfast?
You get to open
and
one
they'll-
present. One present.
All right, okay, that's
In the
that's
morning.
all right.
Okay.
And then you do
That gives you that magical moment. And do you get
Yeah.
to pick the present?
Yeah,
Like
you get
that
to pick
one.
one present. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. I'm happy
Yeah.
with that. And that, yeah, it kind of, because it kind of, I hate to say sandwich again, but what's a different expression? It kind of puts on the spit, the presents, right?
What do you
and it has, so in the middle is like the anticipation, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the fun bits on each end,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a spit.
Yeah.
Bit roast.
Kebab.
Yeah. Bit
That's
roast.
that's an interesting take. And
How Eiffel Towers.
I get it though. You know what?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm down for that.
I do kind of like it.
And that
I like that.
that brings
Yeah.
around, I suppose, a conversation of, for anyone listening, and watching, what did your family do? What's your family tradition? Because a lot of the people that we talk to, I talk to, is very similar to us, where you can have your
Yeah.
stocking in the morning, or when you first wake up, but you can't open presents till everybody's there.
Yeah.
And for us, it was
That was always me.
Was Dad always sort of dishing out the presents, so he'd go through the tree, and that's what we did this Christmas, right? Mind you, Oliver was so wrapped up in the present he'd just opened that even though there was 2 presents gone, he didn't give a shit.
Keep reverting back to
Oh
that.
man,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
he'd open that and be like, "Oh yeah,
And
that's
you know
awesome,"
what?
that's cool.
I'm
I love
so
that.
happy to hear that because most kids are like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Yeah,
Man.
that shows that he
Like,
actually had a
it's-
connection
Oh,
with something
dude,
there. And he's
that's
like, I
right.
fucking dig that.
These kids are too
Yeah.
fucking spoiled these
One
days.
of the
Yeah,
things,
mate.
Everything
one of
they
the
fucking
things that
want.
we did,
They expected.
we
Exactly.
looked at
Fucking
it,
kids.
and even with Santa, we said, right, there's a certain number of gifts, right? There's not, it's not quantity over quality.
Yeah.
It's the other way around, so that he remembers what
Everything
he's
should be
got.
in life.
And dude,
Yeah.
I can tell you now, there is 2 presents in particular that he has just gravitated towards, and he loves them. And they're the ones that we went, right, these are something that he'd enjoy, and they're fucking tools, right? So when I've been out in the shed, even prior to Christmas, if I pull out one of my drills and I'm building something out in the shed, I've got to give him my other drill, right?
Yeah.
Without a bit in it, so he can have a go. So now he's got his own
Fireside
drill.
Jans does not condone giving power tools to children.
It's
We're
not
only joking. Of
hang on,
course we
it's-
do.
No,
It's-
but
it is
There's no
a-
bit in it. There's no
it
bit.
is a
Yeah, you said
controlled.
no
It
bit.
is a
At
controlled
least-
situation. It is a controlled
That's
situation.
what they
so
said
it
about Alec
hasn't.
Baldwin. I'm just saying. We got a cold drill. We got a cold
A
drill. everybody.
Ryobi fucking
Ryobi,
impact drill
everybody.
is nothing like giving
It's only
fucking
an
a shot.
Ozito. It's only an Ozito. It'll fucking the brush will
Check out
burn
my
out and
Ozito.
then.
Oh, hang on.
Gauge,
Don't,
motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's oh man. Yeah.
don't fucking say that in my no.
Don't you diss Ozito,
Yeah.
or you be dead. Like
So-
it. Yeah.
Mind you, my
on,
table
This one-
saw is Zito.
Just
That's
while we're
good.
on while we're on the topic of Ozito, you aren't going to get
Oh,
this,
man.
but this one goes out to you, Chidge and Ozito. Just they'll know what I'm talking about.
Who? What's his name?
Chidgen?
So no, yeah, Chidgy. There's a couple of blokes I work with, but a dude I work with who's got the nickname Ozito, and
Does he swear by him?
Does he only hang on?
Or does he fucking
Does he
hate
only
him?
does he only
There's
work
one or
half
two
the
people,
shift and
yeah.
then
like the
does he only
cheapo
work
shit
half the
brand,
shift
you know
and
what I
then
mean?
If they
stops?
had me shit this brand, I've got an Ozito lawnmower I can pick up with one hand.
Nah,
above his
nah.
head.
Look, I am going to say
It does the
I've got
job.
I've got an
Affordable.
The
Ozito
size of the lawnmower.
I've got an
Yeah.
Ozito
Anybody can have him.
table saw,
Yeah.
and it is fucking fantastic. It does a really good job, right? It's not quite Ryobi, but it does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So we're not shitting on brands on Fireside Yarns.
We are all bland inclusive on Fireside Yarns.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
All brands matter.
If I gave him a toy and then something that a tool, he would take the tool any day. So,
he's emulating father. You know what I mean? That's a
and
big
I love
part
that.
of that
Look,
age,
man,
man.
I love that.
That's
I
a
love
huge
that.
part.
And it's something creative.
Look, because
It's a tool. Yeah.
and
It's
if
not
I
even the
if I get
gift,
out the
it's
mower,
gift of being able to make. Yeah.
yeah. If I get the mower out, part of my Christmas present and early was a ride-on lawnmower because it's so fucking hot. And my lawn, I've put too much fertilizer in there.
fucking hot.
Oh man,
The lawnmower or the weather? Yeah.
both. My lawn is fucking looking immaculate, right? I don't mean to brag, but it is growing extremely quick. So
Can you please take a photo of your lawn and put it in here when you
I
edit
can
this?
do. I can do.
Who's Lawn Dragon? Who's that fucking
Oh,
dude?
that's Boob. Shout out to
Man,
Boob.
shout out to that dude because he was one of our first subscribers. That
actually,
dude was one of our first subscribers.
I'm gonna
and
call
I checked
out
out his channel, and that was fucking so. He wears that fucking mask and goes around doing his lawn. I would fucking love to live next to that dude.
Right.
Cheers to that motherfucker.
Boob.
I'm gonna give a
What's his
call
name,
out.
Shout out his channel. What is it? It's like Lawnmower Dragon or something.
That's
Lawn Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's so
Put
good.
the link in the description.
It is the most Aussiest shit I've ever seen in my
fucking
life. It's pure beauty. Yeah.
I love Boob. He's
Oh, is Vinno froze to you?
No.
Oh no, he's back. He's back now. Yep.
Boob is a fucking legend of a bloke, right?
Absolutely.
You can't get past that. One bloke that needs to be called out, Dylan Lockwood.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, he is the lawn.
He is a lawn king. And another
Actually,
one.
and Andy, my cousin Andy, that worked with me and Dylan at Coolmore.
Yep.
Another lawn king.
Look, I'm going to call out one other bloke because he's a bit of a fucking dark horse. Fergus Walsh. Right?
Lawn king.
He's very knowledgeable. Right? With
Look,
lawns.
I thought I had my lawn looking pretty to this week too. To be honest,
Yeah,
the
so-
rain has definitely helped.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So anyway, I bought a ride on because I was mowing my lawn for the second time in 3 days. Right, that's how much rain we've had,
love it.
and my lawn out the back, man, it's rampant, right? Rin
You
even,
got Koku out the back, eh?
yeah, but we even planted flowers. I built Rin a flower garden, right? This
I seen
year.
the roses look beautiful.
Dude,
Just
we're
saying, just saying.
trying to keep hold of them even with the amount of rain that we've had is just rampant because we'll have a full
Good job.
night of rain and then the next day will be just full on sunshine and perfect weather, right? So I went and bought a ride on. I'd been umming and ahhing about it for 2 years. Bought a ride on. It's not mine. It's Oliver's, right? Because if I pull that fucking thing out, he's got to be on my lap. If he knows that I've mowed the lawn without him there, if he's been at daycare or something like that, like my name is shit. So when it comes to the Christmas presents,
Only if
man,
you mow the lawn while he's at daycare, or
yeah,
You can imagine Ollie when he comes home and sees the lawn mowed, and he's like, if he fucking mows the lawn without me, then he can get the fuck out.
he's mate.
Yeah.
Like you joke about that, but when I first got the lawnmower, right, I did a few laps of it just to test it out, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this a go and see how it goes, find the right depth, all that sort of stuff. Did it? He came home and he knew that I'd fucking mowed that lawn, bro. Like,
What the fuck is this?
yeah,
no,
like,
I took
is this,
that out of
man?
you then. No,
Oh, no.
we're trying to
I'm
keep
so
it PG.
disappointed.
Oh, you could have took it. You could have took
I
it.
did what? I'm always the one. You know what I mean?
You could be, yeah, but nothing wrong with being the one. Neo was the one, you know.
True.
Speaking of
I
which,
must
the new
admit,
Matrix movie
I'm
out.
a bit shit. I haven't seen that yet.
Right.
No, I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Good reviews.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I haven't looked at
Okay.
any reviews for that
I haven't
or
even seen the trailer
Spider-Man.
for it.
Not
Yeah.
watching any reviews.
I know what happens to Spider-Man. But look, back to lawns just for a second. Little lawn replies. I am the loseriest fucking... What's that head about? What was that about?
What?
I'm going to tell you what fucking happens in Spider-Man if you don't be careful, motherfucker.
Wait, tell him.
I will, actually.
No, don't.
So
Actually.
at the very end...
I'm going to tell you now.
Alright. So anyway, when it comes to lawns, alright, I am shit. I don't give a fuck about my lawn. The stormwater drain exploded up in my fucking front lawn, and a fucking excavator had to come in and do the whole thing.
You just
there was a big mud pile. Yeah.
just hold up your beard.
Yeah, it shows.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, but I've got a good fucking.
If it was this,
I've got good growth up here. I've got good growth up here. I don't need to compensate for anything.
That shows you haven't been out in the sun enough, mate. That's.
I think you've been out in the sun just a tad. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. I've got a lawnmower that's powered by the same shit that powers me drill. I've got a whippersnipper.
I bought a blower this week.
You want a what?
A blower.
Oh yeah, what? Okay.
What's his name?
Ooh.
Ooh. His name's Davey, the real Davey G.
Hey, I like him. Sounds like a sexy bastard.
Hey, I give
Sexy
him cheers
eyes.
all the time.
Hey,
I bet you
he'll take
do.
him.
That's what she
No,
said.
I got a Makita.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Also
bougie.
a battery powered one.
Yep.
But yes, I'm in the process of stocking the tools too, and yeah.
Dude, it's this is showing our age. But
Yeah, we old.
The satisfaction that you get,
and
man.
beers and
Satisfaction
lawns
you get when you spend your day, and especially like I don't know about you, Reese, and Dave, you've worked shift work as well. For me, working shift work when you get a day off and you actually feel like getting up and going and doing something, because
So
for me
rarely. Yep.
for me the first day off is you fucking sleep. Like
Yep.
by the time you get to that stage that you've got days off, you're fucked. So when you get up and you go and you look after your place and you stand there afterwards and you have that beer and you look at you know what you've done on your day off and you go, yeah, I'm proud of that. You know, that's a thing.
I love that.
It's not just an old thing.
Well,
That's a thing. You know, like
No, but do you know what? I was in like my early mid-20s when I was working as doing landscaping and lawn maintenance and shit, and man, that was such a rewarding job.
the satisfaction you get when you look at something that's nice and fucking tidy
Man,
and clean.
if it didn't pay me like I was in prison, I would have stayed there until the day I retired.
Even when
you
you're on
made
the
love to you
tools.
like you were in prison.
So
So you'd still be there.
Yeah. Good
Good
old
old
parties
days.
in prison though. There was less
Fuck
bumming
yeah.
going on.
I'll put it to you this way though.
I'm not
Like when
going
you
Oh, actually, no. Maybe there probably was a lot of bumming going on there too.
Yeah, enough, I would say. Enough
There was
bumming.
enough. There was enough bumming.
Sufficient.
To make it
Probably
fun.
better than prison.
Sufficient. Sufficient.
So when you're on the tools, Reezy, and you do a job and you were happy with it, you get that satisfaction out of it, though, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
And Dave,
Yeah,
when you were,
100%.
you know, when you were welding, back when you were on the tools, and you do a nice, clean fucking bead, you'd stand back and go, "Yeah, that's fucking."
Well,
clean.
welding's just the end of it all. The fabrication,
Yeah.
that's the shit. And welding just seems to get it, and you polish it up to make noise. But whenever you make anything from a fireplace to a fucking to anything you make, even at home when you do your flooring, if you paint something, you're
Yeah.
out the back, you get your planter boxes all fucking sorted out. It is. I think it's a primal thing because it makes us feel safe. You know what I mean? We've made our
with your head, yeah.
made our nest. Yeah, that's right. I've made, but yeah, that's a actual satisfaction because you're being creative, but it's also purposeful, right?
Yeah. It's like when you see the flames on that fire start when you're sitting around the campfire and you're just about ready
It's the
to.
best.
Yeah,
Isn't that?
catch a fish. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things. Like yeah,
Yeah.
the lawn. All
So.
that.
Look,
One
I'm
of the
not gonna
things-
lie. I thought Vinno was going to be heaps more lit.
Oh, Vinno was an hour late saying he was
He
smashed,
talked it
and he's
up.
like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to host, boys.
I was expecting you to be far
Listen,
more lit.
This is a letdown.
Listen,
I wanted
I've
you to
had-
be like,
I've had some beers this afternoon. I'm not gonna
have
lie.
a couple more sips there, Vinno.
Maybe
Have
you
a
should
couple
have
more
a shot
sips.
of moonshine.
A bit of
So
moonshine and
I-
a bit of chili.
I've left the moonshine around at my brother's place. I took that around on Christmas Day when I went around to his place.
Gone. Yep.
To give him some moonshine. I gave it to his mother-in-law actually as well, and she was right lit. So I've known them, that whole family, since we were young. Because he knew go, Reese. You wanted to
No,
interrupt.
I was just Yeah. Does there,
Ooh, saucer and milk for Vinno. Wow.
I'm trying to get the. I'm trying.
Maybe
to
he is lit. Maybe he is lit trying to
get the
start
lid out
shit.
of him. I was hoping for this. No, but
Don't interrupt me, Kat.
does everybody here have shot glasses?
No. Oh, maybe. Probably, actually. Here, if not,
maybe-
I'll definitely have a glass I could put a shot in, I reckon.
Maybe we should all have a shot.
Listen, what we will
We'll have to do a piss
listen,
break for me to set up something
what
like
we
that
will
because I don't
do-
have any. Yeah.
What we will do is before the end of the episode or the end of the episode, as a cheers to 2021, as much of a shit year it's been, we'll do a shot to it. How about that?
Fuck yeah. And we'll yell blackjack
Yeah.
because we reached 21. I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
I'll be up for that. I'll do a shot
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end.
So we'll do a shot at
alright.
the end. But
Oh,
yeah,
and
so
then
I haven't
card
got the moonshine here, but Reese, you did the sauce with your old man. You did Hicksy's Carolina Reaper sauce with your old man.
Yeah, I don't know if you. I
over
don't know if
Christmas
you.
Day.
Maybe he's lit. We already spoke about this.
Did we?
Yeah, no, but listen, what I want
No,
to
this
talk
was
about,
pre-episode, wasn't
when
it?
you had that, when you had that moment with your dad, where Vinno, we already talked about his dad.
Yeah, look, yeah.
But I do want to revisit it because when you were with your dad,
he's lit.
when you were with your dad and you were on the chilies and you're on
I
the
can
beers
tell you
and it
how lit I
Christmas,
was. in a minute.
Did you talk to him about anything that maybe from last episode was kind of
Oh yeah.
relevant? Yeah.
Yes. We
This is what I was
like,
leading to. Reese.
Thanks, host. I feel like Vinno's driving and I just kind of took the wheel and was like, there you go.
You did.
There you go.
Just
No.
Back in the road.
tell him a little bit.
Back in the road there, Vinno.
Oh, mate,
Yeah, but what was that
you
like?
We did go down the wormhole of the hip hop thing.
Did you take him to your
Which was-
turntables?
I did.
Oh shit, yeah.
I did. And,
Davey TH?
And I gave him. Oh, he didn't. He was
Davis.
questioning me. He's like, "Is that not wrecking your record?" I'm like, "No, it's not."
Well, that
See,
was a no-no
now,
for
yeah.
record players back in the day. Before hip hop was like, you're fucking it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. But I took him down a bit of a little history lesson on
Nice.
where hip hop
Fuck yeah.
started. I played him some tracks from back in the late '70s of like the Grandmaster and Cool Herc and shit. And
The house party shit. Yeah.
yeah,
and on the
I
block.
showed him like I was like explaining to him about sampling and showed him like a whole bunch of the original songs and then played the
Hey,
renditions.
here's a shout out to
Producers
Dave
and-
Thielander for having an open mind
Two
to
great
sit there and
days.
listen to
Two great days.
a,
Hang on.
a new genre of music that he
Yeah.
hasn't.
Yeah,
There you go.
Think.
So yeah, here's cheers to you, Dave, because
cheers to Dave.
there's not many parents, right, that are cool enough to sit there and go, righto, I haven't grown up with that style of music, but I'm willing to give it a go, right? So
Well, it wasn't invented when he was into music. You know, you have to remember. This is a new fucking thing. Yeah.
That's what I mean, man. You know, like you hear about it so often about that era, looking at our generation or that generation looking at ours and sort of going, "Oh, this is crap music," you know. So the fact that he's got an open mind and he's given the opportunity to that music and he's taking an interest in something that you like, just shows.
deep.
you
That's
know,
awesome.
It is deep, and it just shows. You know, I know the history with you and your dad. I think your dad's a fucking champion, mate.
Yeah.
I think he's a champion, and the fact that he's given you and shown interest in what you love,
Yeah.
mate. You know, appreciate
Awesome.
that because that's fucking
Yeah,
unreal.
100%.
So,
But it also shows
shout out
that
to Dave.
father-son dynamic. That father-son dynamic, sorry, is fucking. It keeps going.
I've got a
So you're never
dynamic,
too
mate.
old
I've got a
to-
fucking dynamic.
Dynamic. That fucking dynamic. I didn't dare say dynamic, but anyway, I fucked it up for every accent. That's amazing. Yeah.
No, it was really cool. And he
Yeah.
even said to me, he's like, you know, like I never ever would have known, or you know, he was really shocked, and he was also shocked. He's like, I'm shocked at how you know so much about it. I'm like, well, you know, like
Oh, man, that's been your
learn from
passion.
everyone, but
That's
Yeah,
been your
yeah.
passion. Like music has been your passion. Hip hop, hardcore, metal has been your passion the
Yeah.
whole way through. You know, so
yeah, definitely.
the fact that he is recognizing that is massive because there is so many people that would go a lifetime without recognizing you know, the
For
achievements.
his age group in particular, there's so many preconceived notions about what hip hop is, or they're just talking. Oh, it's just a boom, boom, boom. It's like right now, it would be like, but before you get into hip hop, it would be like me thinking of K-pop now. I'll be like, oh, what's this watered down manufacture? You know what I mean? What's this? You know, when his dad was into fucking rock and metal and intricate soul, you know what I mean? Like musicians playing music and shit, it's different. But until he again, like Reece said, you kind of show them the origins of how it came to be and why it is the way it is, and the vastness of it all. You don't know that if you just hear fucking and hear me riding dirty and then and it's tricky, you know. But until you listen back to them, and you can appreciate the art in Run DMC. You know what I mean? But no, that's what I love about hip hop as well. I think that there's a lot hidden in there, and there's something for everyone.
Look, while we're
100%.
talking about Dave, and we'll get back onto the hip hop as well. He took that source like a boss. I saw the video, and not only did he have the teaspoon, but he was licking the table that you were, you know, like even Hicksy turned around to me today. I sent him that video that you sent me this afternoon.
Well, I sent it to him the other day, but it didn't send the whole thing.
Yeah, so when you sent it through, I forwarded it through to him, and he saw the whole thing, and he went, "Yeah, Reese's dad took that like a boss, man." Like. So even Hicksy was appreciating.
Make hotter shit.
Yeah,
that was for pussies.
Well, maybe on the whole episode we can have some special guests in there that have the hot palette, so they can check the last dab and they can, you know what I mean, and do a little bit of. Oh, you have the last dab.
I do.
Don't you?
I said to Hannah this afternoon, I was like, I should have made Dad do the last dab because I wonder if it's hotter. And she's like, "You were going to," and I'm like, "Why didn't we?"
Oh, that's a drunk state. Someone
it's bad when
he's that drunk, but for whatever reason,
I'm telling you, from lunchtime till bedtime, like that, man. It was just the day went so fast.
Good times. That's good times.
Yeah, that's when you're enjoying it. Yeah.
But old Dave did give us huge props on just the podcast in general. He
loving it. Fuck yeah.
Hey, look, loves it. I appreciate Dave because of the opportunities he gave us when we were younger, man, when we were playing in our band. Like, he gave us free reign of your place out there at Jerry's Plains. Like,
man,
to go out and practice every single weekend. And look, we were shit. Like, we sounded terrible.
You get good, though.
And he had the patience, and he allowed us to go out there. So, you know, I can't say enough kind words about your old
play
man.
Music
and Julie,
time.
Yeah.
Or just the partying and the ruckus and
he let us live our teenage years and our early teens. So
early 20s. Early 20s.
Early 20s.
You're getting old.
So, you know, I can't. He gave us the opportunity that we did, even though we were called Crab Claw and we were shit. He gave us a lot of opportunities with that place out there and saying, "Righto, guys, you can have that shit." So, once again, here's cheers to Dave, and not only that, Julie, because you know she was very much a part of it.
And both of them together, man.
And I appreciate them.
That's pretty fucking good. Above all else, a Reece. I mean, fucking hell yeah.
So we appreciate you, Dave. Thank you very much. Not Dave Giles. Yeah, I knew it. I tried to get in there too quick.
Cheers to Dave while we're at it because of fucking Vinno.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, look, here's cheers to Dave. And Colin, because they gave me one of the best laughs this week on COD.
We had a good COD. We had a good fucking drunken COD. That was good shit.
Oh man,
I was Shaggy for the whole thing. We were fucking making COD versions of Shaggy songs.
Dude,
instead of it wasn't me, it's COD. And we
hang on, no, can you do the voice? Can you do the voice?
No, we're not there yet.
Then I call him over Charlie.
Reece has to sing before the rest of us.
No. Yeah, okay, actually.
Up in the comments.
So we got some really good feedback.
I'll do the verse. He'll do he can do the shag, the fucking. I'll do the Shaggy verse, and he can sing the chorus.
I'll do the clean. But hang on, like Dave just brought up, we got some really good feedback, and we appreciate that feedback and
Epic
that call
prawn.
out. Epic prawn. Thank you, man.
Epic prawn. Hell yeah, bro. That's what we
season
need.
2. That's the sort of information and the feedback we've been asking for all season. So, thank you,
We're
dude.
gonna get timestamps. We're gonna try live stuff. Here, next year we got a heap of shit planned for all you Fireside motherfuckers. It's gonna be good.
Wait,
So,
isn't it crazy that we're 20 episodes in? Like, I know
20 deep,
Yeah.
and it lined up good.
I know I haven't been here like the whole time, but realistically, like,
well, that's
I've
what
been here for three
and
quarters
see,
of
that's
it now,
what
really.
that's
Yeah.
what this episode is. So, what we wanted
Yeah.
to do with this episode, being the last episode of season 1, the last episode of 2021. So, we're gonna have a few weeks break in the next, after this episode, to revamp things and look at things and get ready for the new year. But what we wanted to do with this episode was have a look back at episode 1 and where we started
read
from and where
down
we
them.
came to. Look,
You should read down and have a look, have a quick little what we think.
So
I don't want to get him up though.
episode 1, and look, I'll give a bit of history
Political
on.
correctness, isn't it?
Well, but where this
Australian
started
Republic.
from, right, was we were at our friend Bondi's place on his birthday. Dave had come up from Canberra. Bondi lives at Brankston, and I finished
Go the
work.
Colts. Go the Greedy Brankston Colts and the Greedy Gorillas.
Colts. And I popped
The
down
ride,
there,
we will ride again.
and we were talking, and we said, "Look, I'd really like." Between the three of us, we said we really love to do a podcast. Bondi, with his current position with his work, was unable to. But Dave and I, it was nearly 12 months down the track, wasn't it? That we sort of went.
It had been a year.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of, because that was before COVID. I think that had COVID had happened, but we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. This was before lockdowns, restrictions, and stuff. So I think this was one of the last times we were able to have a big fucking party and have a chat. And it was COVID was in the air, but also we sat beside that fire and we talked for hours about aliens, Illuminati, the future. You know what I mean? We just talked about the Joe Rogan type of shit, and just like everyone does. And Reese would have, look, all of us, when we could buy a fire, because we've been by the fire with Reese as well. You just talk shit.
I've been by the fire with Reese and ends up with 2 people naked on a lawnmower. So
Go back to the lawnmower. No, that's why he's as obsessed with and fetishizing
hang on,
lawnmowers.
we'll tell you about the lawnmower story by the end of this.
Oh wow.
Dean Taylor, if you've got that video, man, we want it. All right. So
From school,
But-
Dean Taylor?
yeah, Dean
Holy
Taylor.
shit.
Yeah.
Flash from the past.
Yeah.
Blast.
Anyway,
That's what they say.
so Dean played bass for us early in the
Yes. Slapping that BS. He was a
and-
guitar player when I knew him.
Yeah, but even when Crabclaw finished, Dean and I went on and we played.
No, he was playing guitar in Crabclaw.
he was playing guitar.
Taken by force when it first started.
Yeah, but then he played bass in Wholehearted when we kicked off.
That's
down
right, he
there.
did too.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
right, he did too. Yep.
But yeah, so Fireside, I suppose, started there in Bondi's shed, and it's a big call out because James and Tegan Bond were part of the original Fireside with the
Yeah, that's
conversation.
right. Tegan was there as well, yeah.
Yep. And then it was 12 months on that we got to the stage where Dave and I went, right, it actually started with my meme page where Bondi called it out, and
We were trying to start something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
But I
And
think after we said let's do a podcast, and I think a week later we had recorded episode 1. We said let's
had.
fucking do it. We did it on Zoom. It was on Zoom.
Early
Remember
episodes
we
was
timing out. It was timing out.
Yeah.
Because he only had how did we have 45 minutes an hour or something like that?
40 minutes, and then I was editing it up on Lightworks.
Posting it together.
Yeah, and merging it all together, and then we'd done.
And what we talked about was political divisiveness and an Australian republic.
Yeah.
Now, the reason for that was, I think the divisiveness is because that was the ethos of the podcast at the beginning, was like, there's this political division in Australia. It ultimately became something different than that, but that we were just trying to fucking get something on the page or on the fucking video or whatever it was. And an Aussie Republic was just something that I knew I could just spiel about a bit. It was a comfort. The idea was comfort, I feel like. And then we did our
You didn't have
introduction.
me then.
No,
Well,
no.
here,
So this is what
we
this
might
is
have
what we're
started
building
off
up
doing the
to.
music stuff and doing the
Even before
shooting
that,
the shit. We found it
even
wasn't
before
until
that.
we found our fucking feet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because
So
it
if
was
you-
back and forth. It was pencil necky, and it was very. This is what we learned this week about this thing, and
Yeah.
and although I enjoyed it and I loved it, and one of my favorite episodes is the Afghanistan one because it was when we were
That was
fucking
my dad-
challenging
my dad
ourselves.
said he loved that episode.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
we
the one where
challenged
we,
ourselves, and that was
yeah.
informative too. I learned a lot looking into that shit.
Well,
yeah.
I suppose that was the episode where we went, right, we're going to push the boundaries here and we're going to talk about something that's in the public eye at the moment. And
We had to talk about it.
yeah, we wanted to make it relevant, but we challenged ourselves as well because we didn't lay each other down on what we wanted to talk about. We just said, right, Afghanistan is the topic. Look at what you can where you want to. So I think, Dave, you looked at the very origins of that.
Well, the whole idea about for me was the history of Afghanistan is the reason why Afghanistan is the way it is. So I wanted to give people a bit of history because you appreciate Australia because you know the history of it all. You know, we know our Anzacs, we know our history and the important parts that make Australia Australia. But no one cares. Afghanistan to a lot of people is a sandpit in the middle of the desert where our boys are getting injured and they attacked us and all that stuff. So I kind of wanted to give it a bit more body in all Afghanistan so people could empathise with the people there first and then we could deal with the situation. But we had a list. We had a list of 20 things, Vinno. And we would look down this list each week and be what we're going to do. But ultimately, whatever was happening at the time, we ended up just going with that. And like the COVID stuff
What
and
was
all.
interesting-
Remember that when we did that was like, we
Yeah.
better fucking talk about this shit now.
Yeah. But what was interesting
the
was
CMFEU thing, the protests happened.
in that list, and I looked back at it only the other day, was the reoccurring thing was music. And that's where we drag Reese in because the episode music that influenced us, and that in itself, and the few times that we've done that, and now with Reese on board, and I'll get into Reese coming on board in a minute, but that brought back a lot of
Nostalgia.
memories and a lot of nostalgia because you went back and even now listening to songs, and I was only talking with my brother this afternoon about it, one of my brothers this afternoon about it, and was like, fuck, if we do another episode of that song's going in because of this reason. But one of the episodes that really brought Fireside into where it is now and where it's going to be in the future was music that shaped us, because Reese messaged me after that episode and said, I wanted to be involved in that episode so much. And look, recently, and I'm going to call him out as well, Freddie Eddie, right? That episode that you did with Freddie Eddie, Dave, I felt that feeling completely. You know, that
well, that's what podcasts are supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I
felt
you're
what
alone,
Reese,
supposed to feel like you're chatting with motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're in the room. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I felt that. And I got a full appreciation of what Reese was referring to at the time.
That was my biggest compliment I'd heard up until that stage was, man, I wish I could. Because for me, that's what I want to interject the podcasters that I'm listening to. Yep. And when Reese's like, man, I just wanted to jump in there and talk with you, I was like, that's beautiful. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
So the next episode,
that's what made it even better.
Yeah, and the next episode, Reese came on as a guest, and by the end of the episode, finished as a host.
By the middle of the episode. Fuck the end. Yeah.
So how, Reese,
right.
just talk us through, because we haven't actually discussed this, even outside of this episode.
You're probably right.
At what point did you go, fuck, I'm going to ask these boys to if I can come on board? Because, like, dude, without jerking your chain, right?
He didn't ask, can I be on the podcast? He kind of alluded to, kind of like, But and I think we were waiting for it. We were coy as fuck.
Yeah, look,
After the fucking yeah, like I say, you want it too? Yeah. We were all up for that shit. Yeah,
but look, the things that
we were
Reese
looking
has
at each other
brought
from
to
across
it,
the bar. Yeah.
and the changes that have happened with Reese's ideas and his ingenuity, I suppose you'd say, have really changed the dynamic of it.
Improved everything. The sound now we're through the voice
sound,
meters,
the visuals,
the video editing software.
Maybe not the idea.
Next year's shit as well.
Absolutely.
And the social media stuff, the link tree.
So, Reese, my question to you...
He made us look a bit uglier, so that's a downside. As once that perfect beard... if I brush my face, my moustache changes, and now this motherfucker's got the sexiest beard on motherfucking planet Earth. I don't even have full eyebrows, and motherfucker's over here looking like fucking Colin Farrell. You know what I mean? So whatever. There are some downsides. I'm not the sexy one anymore.
Look, Hannah actually... plucked my out.
So look, I think there needs to be a shout out.
Manicuring our own lawn of a man.
No, look, while we're mentioning, I think there needs to be a shout out to the wives and girlfriends of Fireside Yarns for the year,
yeah, they
for
make
2021, because they allow
us
us to get absolutely fucking piss drunk in front of screens and cameras on a weekly basis.
And they don't give a shit for it. They could very well be like, what the fuck he is doing on that day.
Yeah,
they said the most supportive partners, we got them. We really do. We're very lucky people, you know what I mean? We're all very, very lucky.
To you girls, Hannah, Em and Rin, we appreciate you guys. My next question, Reese, from your first episode, and I remember you saying to me, even the first episode where you were a guest, that you were shitting yourself and you were nervous. Where we are now, how are you feeling? Like you obviously feel part of the Fireside.
Was it hard?
Team,
was it like when Robert Trujillo had to join Metallica or Jason Newsted had to join Metallica? Was it like that? Where you're like, these guys are joined?
How can I join a legacy and just feel comfortable instantly? It's impossible.
No, but you know, we spoke, and you said, you wanted to be a part of it. You knew us obviously both of us very well. How are you feeling now? Does it feel the same?
Well, yeah, your first episode as a proper host. So the first one, we kind of halfway through, we were like, yeah, let's do it. This is awesome. But you're on that emotional. This is good.
Yeah.
Belong on the show. But your second one, your face is up there. Great graphics for Dave. You're up there. We changed it. I'd rather at it. Cheers to Dave.
Cheers to Dave.
Look, cheers to Dave.
I just want another. I just take another sip of that.
Vinno's joined the party. Good on you.
Hey, Vinno's gonna drink tonight. Wow.
90% of the time I join. All right, it's just when it's all of the time.
I gotta say,
every week
it was the missing link.
Every week, Dave comes through with some fucking fantastic graphics. All the episodes. Even with how busy he is with the family and with work, every week he comes through, and
if anything, it's probably me that's dragged the chain the most with anything.
No way, because everything's. I can't
We're going to put him to work next season.
Argue against that more because everything's been much easier. But like I said, the link tree is the recording software, the voice meter. My voice was coming out like from a tin can before now, and now it sounds like Liam Neeson is behind you, whispering in your ear. You know what I mean? And we all know about Liam Neeson.
Fuck.
Liam down to his knees, son.
After last week, after last week, everyone's gone and watched Rob Roy and seen Liam Neeson's dick.
Dumbo's dad. No, it's like, who's Dumbo's dad?
Wait, speaking of Liam Neeson, though, completely off subject, and I'm not going to take it away. I'm just going to make a mention. Watch the newest Men in Black this afternoon.
Oh, shit.
Moving on.
Oh, was Liam Neeson? Was he part of that shit?
Yes. And
fuck. He's you know what? I'll let him have a couple of sliders. You know what I mean? I'll let him have a couple of shit movies because I think he's done his.
They just shouldn't have even bothered.
Was he like a K? Was he like an old Men in Black dude?
He was like the decorated officer, but It was
Look,
just
I don't think
cringy and horrible.
It's one of those movies. I don't think you're gonna ever be able to beat the first
Man in
one.
Black
It's
one.
like Bad Boys. Bad Boys, you're never gonna be
No,
able to
Bad
beat
Boys
them.
2 was alright though. I'll say
Look,
Bad
yeah,
Boys 2
okay.
was a bit of alright.
Fast and Furious, the original one, you're not gonna beat
I don't
that.
watch that shit.
Fast and
one of them,
Furious.
amazing.
Yeah.
What?
Is there 9 or is there more?
Look, the original
It's
one.
probably 13. I don't know.
The original
Damn,
one was
dude.
fire. Everything after that, you can fucking get out, right? I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, I don't know, man.
What about Tokyo Drift, motherfucker?
Yeah, Tokyo Drift was up there.
That could have
I'm
been.
not-
Fast and
Hang on.
Furious was up there.
That could have been a separate movie. Tokyo Drift could have been a separate
Yeah, it was
movie
like,
altogether.
yeah.
Because
Too
I
Fast,
know.
Too Furious was good too, though.
get the fuck out.
Let's not make the episode about this horrible franchise.
Yeah. But look, Reese, back to your question, right? Because Dave keeps fucking dragging away from it.
That's what I do. The dragger.
Your
drag
first question
king.
from coming
That's the
on.
Lawn Dragon.
The Lawn Dragon, yeah, and the Drag Queen.
Oh,
King.
we're gonna do so many cheers.
The episode's ending already because we're already interrupting him.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you know the
I
episode's
think
coming
it'll
to an
fuck.
end when we won't make it end. Yeah,
Look, I'm that drunk tonight. I don't give a fuck. I was drunk before we even recorded.
I've got heaps of shit to talk about. If,
So do
if
I.
we run into
So
dead
do I.
air, so don't worry about it.
We've got
Let's
heaps
just
of
keep
shit.
it flowing.
It's
keep
the
it
last
flowing.
episode of season 1. So, Reese, my question to you, it hasn't been very clear up until now. How
But
do
before
you
that-
feel? How do you feel from from the first episode you were on to now, and taking into account the guests that we've had on?
Yeah.
Do you feel more comfortable? Do you feel part of the family?
I mean, you guys have
Yeah.
always been my family. Let's be
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True Fireside is years ago. This is just
Yeah.
a document. You know what I mean? Like the bonds before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the recorded now, but no, 100% feel way more comfortable. And I think, to be honest, and I said this today, looking back, because I was like, holy fuck, man, like this is episode 20.
Yeah.
Like, I know I haven't been here since the start, but you only did 5 episodes without
Yeah.
me. So I've been here for 3/4 of the time.
That's
That's
15,
right, yeah.
15 episodes,
I mean,
man.
like-
Yeah.
Think about 15 weeks. You know what I mean? And here, this first season is only our trial. So the first 5 episodes is us trying to figure out how to record, how to turn shit on, how to not,
Yep.
you know, and we've had episodes, sneaky motherfuckers, that are gone. You know, there was one episode that Reese
Yeah,
wasn't in
that's
since he
right.
joined everybody. And he actually, I suppose we can let them in behind the curtain. He recorded that fucking whole episode with us. That one that he wasn't there, that was done. That was done. But
We lost it.
because of
lost it.
technical difficulties and us learning and stuff like that, and figuring out our hardware, we had to re-record the whole thing without him.
I
And
was dying from the COVID vaccination.
but again, dying. You know what I mean? And we fucking so we were. I think that showed us that we were able to fucking come back and just get something out in that week, and we did for you Firesiders. You know, we got that shit out. But there was an episode that was like a half an hour more, at least, because it was an hour and a half originally,
And it
and
was
then
a
we
good
did an hour.
episode
It was
too.
fucking good. In
We
fact,
struggled through.
the episode
We
we
struggled
did
through. Because when
was
I
stole from it. You know what I mean? And
the
it was
original the original footage from that was the if correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the TV shows one.
It was.
Those
Yeah.
nostalgic shows. Reese did a
and-
whole hour and a half of content with us.
Yeah, and that was like we didn't looking
We did
back
his
on it.
slides though, didn't we?
We did
Didn't
his
we do his-
slides,
we
but
went
I,
through his
look, I-
choices, didn't we? Yeah,
for,
yeah.
for the knowledge that Reese
But it's not the
showed
same.
and the
Yeah.
way he spoke about it, we didn't do it knowledge, especially with
But we couldn't do it just.
you know Agro's cartoon connection, you know. Because even though I watched that, Reese's knowledge of that was in depth, and it was
And I only know Jamie from Jamie Dunn from the radio
Yeah,
show.
look-
So you guys would have grew up with it, and it was personal to him.
what
So,
I
yeah.
what I think is, you know, season 1 has been good fun. It's been a
Oh, it's
learning
been
curve.
fucking
The fact that
awesome,
we've
man.
brought Reese on board, man, gives me a fucking hard on because
It's just it gives me too. Like, and here we go back to this bit. You know,
Yeah.
it was the meat. It was the meat in the back to the sandwich. He's the meat in the sandwich. He's the pig on our spit.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to compliment him, but I honestly think,
cheers to you guys, because I really appreciate that. I do.
man, you are a
It's
low
been a
motherfucker.
privilege.
And
to-
saying
do
cheers
this.
to that, I'm going to say we'll have a quick break, and when we come back,
we
we're
gotta
going to
go
talk
break.
about
We're ready.
more
It's
about
time.
season 1. Going to talk
Yeah,
more about
I
season
want to
1.
go back to season 1, have a little dip back in time, and we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get our shots ready for the finale as well.
Oh,
So-
yeah, just get rid of it.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh, everybody, yo,
Piss
feast
break
your
song.
ears.
Shout
Feast your
outs,
ears.
hang on.
Feast break
It
song.
needs to be a
One thing
shout
that will
out.
not change in season 2.
I can't figure
Right.
out if it's
The song you're
Egyptian
about-
or if it's.
The song you're about to hear during the drinks break was composed by myself.
This
The
is a
boys
Lachlan
love it,
Vincent
right?
Indian official.
So
Brought to you by DJ Elbows.
DJ Elbows, right?
Yeah.
Stay with us.
Dash Bowes.
More-
With his head.
More Fireside
that?
Yarns. Last episode, 2021.
Last episode ever this year.
This year.
Oh, that's got to be the clickbait as well. Last episode ever. Small this year. So I better get on and watch
Stay
it.
tuned. Stay tuned.
We'll even record a promo.
Welcome back from that little break, guys. I hope you love that song. Oi, it's catchy as fuck. When I send that through to you put shit on me, and then you know,
We need to
ladies
do
went,
an Indian Egyptian rap to that shit.
Look,
Get
that is a
Sam
cool
Alexander on it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Actually, we need to get that dude on because he can cook a fucking feed.
Man,
Man.
I want to go to that restaurant, man.
Oh,
Was
man.
it the Yellow Willy?
Yeah.
Restaurant?
He can cook, man.
Coben,
But
whatever
not
it is.
only that, they are fucking awesome dudes. Him and Frankie Faulkner, man, like
Those two
Fucking
are just
legends.
genuine awesome lads, and now they're out there fucking.
Sean Hicks.
Well, no, Sean Hicks is a sauce boss. There ain't no sauce boss.
Look, those guys,
Didn't you
those
see
guys.
them two confused?
The master taste.
No, didn't you bring? You thought they were the same person?
I thought Frank Faulkner and Sean Hicks were the first.
Yeah, thank
were
you.
the same
See,
fucking
I'm
person.
not a complete
Yeah.
fucking
That's a
idiot.
throwback. That's a throwback. But that's the truth. I thought they were the same motherfucking person.
Look, that's why we're here. We're throwing it back.
Throwing it back.
Throwing it back.
And look,
Won't be
throwing it back.
to Vincenzo.
Throwing it back. We're going to give a quick shout out to the guests that we've had on this year, right? We've had some fantastic guests, whether it be music related, whether it be a serious episode, whether it be promoting something. So the first guest that we ever had on the show, we were talking UFC, was Smoke.
Fireside
Josh
Fights.
Rogers.
I want
Yes.
to talk to him about getting a Fireside Fights happening, where on the channel
Absolutely.
we can preview fights before it happen, and then we can give our reviews about it. I want to talk to him about that because I think that could be a bit of fun and an additional little bit of content on the channel.
Absolutely.
But watch out that for 2022 coming for
Season
you.
2.
Fireside
Season
Fights.
2. But look, shout out to
Season 2.
Smoke because he was the first guest we had. He didn't know what he was getting into. We
He
didn't
did
know
great.
what we were getting into. He did a fantastic job. We looked back on it and we went,
He
that was
showed
a
me
good
what
fun.
not to do.
But look,
He blurred his background.
No, I joke.
no, look, thank you, Smoke, for
awesome.
being the guinea
Awesome.
pig for us because he was the first person we had, and it was a big thing for us to have somebody on board because.
Oh, yeah, and look, he was the
You know,
first
we're
person
early.
to show me how to clean a sink properly. So shout out to Smoke.
Listen, yeah, look, he's got a fucking
many things.
yeah, fucking for a
El
fucking
Roddy from back in the day. I called him Roddy a bit long. When I moved away, he became Smoke. But nah, he's a genuine, awesome dude. I want to talk to him about that. Very knowledgeable about MMA, and I'd love to get him
Loves
to,
it.
to
Look, I was having
to pick
beers-
his brain. Yeah.
having beers with him this afternoon, and I thanked him. I told the three boys that I was having beers with this afternoon, and they've been long time supporters, not just of Fireside Yarns, but good friends of ours. That it was the last episode of the season, and I said to Smoke, thank you for coming on board and doing on that. as our guinea pig, because that was the doorway for
A sexy
for
guinea
us.
pig.
Yeah, I understand where we needed to go, but the second guest that we had on is our one and only Reese. And we had him on. He stayed. You know?
couldn't get rid of me.
And it was and look, it was a surprise.
Joey Tribbiani.
It was a surprise for mainly, maybe for a lot of our listeners, but not for us, because 2 seconds into the episode, even before that, we were considering it with talking to Reese and letting him know what we were wanting to do for the episode, his knowledge of the content, and just fucking Reese, it was going to happen. It was going to happen.
It was like, well, this feels more comfortable. We're having more of a laugh. You know what I mean? Like, you could feel it in the episode. I was like, you know what? This is what it's supposed to be like.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. The twosome, that's fun as fuck, and it was good, and it was what we needed to get it going and all.
It's always better.
But listen, once we decided, hey lads, let's have a threesome. That's when the relationship went. Now,
It went through the roof.
Honest with you, I don't. It wouldn't be the same show. It would be very different, and I think we would be doing a much more serious show that I think most people would not be able to get through. Look, without having fun about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I have been a joke for a long time.
No, but it was stressful.
Yeah.
Before you came, it was kind of stressful. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got to get this done. We got to have our information.
Not stressful.
Done.
I felt
it was
I think
it
used pressured. There was a lot of pressure there. Reese took away a lot of that pressure for those that are listening and watching, because not only did he bring the use of Discord and OBS for recording and those sorts of things,
made it easier.
And other aspects with recording, like the introduction of the new microphones and all those sorts of things, helped us out there. But just his mannerisms, his cool demeanor, his shit talk in the Discord, which sometimes we need, like being shift workers, being busy, you need that extra dynamic in there. So Reese, you have brought that to the show, and I got to say, man,
Reese,
I got to thank you. Here's to Reese. Here's to Reese.
And while we're cheersing people.
It's all the cheeses tonight.
Because
it's all tough.
Yeah, look, it's cheers to Dave, because
Yes, fucking.
Yeah.
He's
I'll cheers to that.
He's catching on Dave.
Because you need to catch up a couple more of them now.
Yeah,
couple more little
but look,
where are we at now?
Because we
did
brought
our
that
political divisiveness.
We had political
Because
divisiveness.
We can hit our guests as we go.
Drugs.
We pushed some.
Drugs,
Do you
Conor
remember?
McGregor.
Do you remember having this conversation, Dave? So we did political divisiveness, and then we touched on
Our
drugs.
introduction.
No, drugs.
No, but did we not do our
Yeah,
introduction?
we did our introduction. We did our introduction,
was
which was
funny little
highlighting, this is
Welcome everybody, Fireside, yeah.
We're two little we're like Mormons at the front door.
Hello,
But-
everybody. Please watch our show.
Drugs. Do you remember, like, the conversation before we did the drugs episode? Like, let's push some barriers. Let's see where we can really get some pushback, and he's let us down.
Well, we wanted to take it as a we wanted to take the progressive stance, and we didn't want to demonize drug users. We wanted to question drug laws, and we did. I feel like we did. We used examples from around the world of people that decriminalized it.
Yep.
The people that legalized it, and then people that were draconian in their enforcement of it. So I think we hit a lot of stuff. I was very happy with it. Again, look, it's a fucking minefield and a rabbit hole.
It's one that we can touch on later down the track. And like Reese was just saying, especially with maybe a specialist, because it's a conversation that's going to be brought up in the years to come. Especially like we touched on a couple of weeks ago with cigarettes. With tobacco now being potentially outlawed in a degree, it's going to be an interesting topic in the next few years. So, But
And it's a topic that
to
has touched everybody, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody knows somebody who struggles with that shit.
Yeah.
So I think it was good to see just normal lads just fucking shooting the shit about it. Yeah.
And
What
then
was that next one?
Afghanistan.
Oh, sorry.
Afghanistan after that was
yeah.
their next
That
one.
was a
And
solid
now
point.
I'll give
Yeah.
you, for those listening and watching, a bit of insight in towards that episode. At the time, when we looked at recording, that was the withdrawal from Afghanistan and the anarchy that revolved around that. And Dave and I, at the time, sort of went, well, let's touch on this. Let's talk about this. But let's not look at it at the now. Let's look at it at the whole thing. Now, I have a brother that was over there during that time, periodically, and a lot of friends that
We've
were
had
over there.
mates that have been over there too.
Yeah, yep. It was a long period of our lifetime, you know. Throughout that, I can remember when troops were originally launched into, or just
We
dispatched
watched
into.
that whole.
We
I
watched
still
it, you
remember
know.
9/11 vividly.
Yeah. Yep.
You watched what caused the war.
For
That's
our
right.
lifetime, that's a massive, that's a big thing. That's a long period of that time. So
that's
for
right.
us, seeing that withdrawal and the anarchy that revolved around it, that was an interesting topic. And to go back and for us to sort of go, well, let's look at the insides and out. And Dave, I've got to say, your research into, look, I'm going to give you.
I can't take him well. But,
Look,
I know
the way you dived into that, and when we had that meeting and we spoke about, righto, well, let's have a look at this, and how far back you went and the effort that you put in there, man. Like, is cheers to Dave, because
I'll cheers to that. Nah, but for
No,
me
but
it was.
hang on, I'm not
someone
finished.
who comes from a country. Go on.
yeah, he wants a praise. But your insight into that and the effort that you put into the research there, and how far back you went, really educated me, and I know it has educated a couple of listeners, and also transitioned them. I'll say transitioned, influenced them to change their mindset of Afghanistan and the Middle East, because the few people that I've spoken to were, in their words, and I'll say in their words, ignorant. But with your research and what you presented with that episode, and then in conjunction with the whole episode as one, with what was happening at the time, they did a bit of research of their own, and they looked at things of their own, and they went, holy fuck, this isn't just idiots from the Middle East, as their ignorant comments, and I'm using their words at this time, right? It made them look into things a lot deeper. So I'm going to call you out and say,
education is a wonderful thing.
and look, I'm going to call you out and say, Dave, fucking awesome job, man, because I think you went above and beyond with what even you and I were talking about with that. It wasn't just in the last 20 years, you went further than that. So awesome,
Has
man.
to be. So I come from a country that, at least for a certain period of time, we were the terrorists. And even in the TV shows and Patriot games and the movies and all, we were the terrorists. And there are people that will think of Ireland and they'll think of the bombings and they'll think of the IRA and they'll think of the car bombs and the petrol bombs and the kneecaps and all that shit. But I think it's important to look to it, and it's not education, it's nuance. It's just like, it doesn't make what happened right, but there's a reason why there's people are traumatized in the way they are, and the reason why this geographical place in the world is the way it is, whether it's strategical from other nations or whatever. And that's all it was. I'm not someone that loves or condones the way that part of the world, with the way of life it is over there, but it's important to know why. And we could have been reactionaries, and we could have talked about what happened in the last 24 hours, or even just what happened in the war, or what led up to the war and why we were there. But for me, yeah, it was a little bit personal at the point of like adding that history there. I think lets people understand and humanizes Afghani people, and that's all I wanted to do. And I think we did it very well. I think we did it very well as well, because you were came on it from that compassionate side of things as well.
Look,
that's what I mean. Yeah, and I was interested in and this is just where my interests lie, right? World War One, World War Two, post World War Two, Cold War, and that's where Afghanistan really mainly came into it for me.
Modern day Afghanistan,
and that's where you educated me prior to that, right? With the Soviet Union involvement and those sorts of things, even with Vietnam, right? My interest lies around the World War II era, with France losing Vietnam. So that was really interesting for me, and that it was a really good episode for that aspect, and I think it was a highlight of what we can do if we really want to,
And it was ballsy because it was ever changing. The whole thing was changing day to day. Because we hit it between when the invasion and we actually hit it before I'm pretty sure it was before the ISIS attack.
Well, no, they had just
entered, it just happened and we didn't know that it was a civilian.
They had just entered Kabul.
Yeah.
And there was evacuations and that happened.
They were evacuating the airport, right? And we seen the people falling from planes. But yeah, that was a heavy episode. It
was. But I enjoyed the learning out of that. But then we decided to follow that up, and this is probably the turning point of Fireside Yarns, because the next episode was Music That Shaped Us, Part 1, right? And this was the one where I got a text message from Reese. Mm-hmm. Was it a text message or were we talking, Reese? I can't remember. But
it was one of the two, yeah.
We were talking about the episode, and you said I really wanted to be involved. So that was where we talked about a lot of Metallica, Slipknot, and as the episode alludes to, go and watch it if you're not sure. Check out my drunk eyes there. Go and have a look at it, because that's where. Look at the cringe face on Dave. Music That Shaped Us. So the next episode after that was Hip Hop Hot Picks. And this
Say that again fast, please.
Hip Hop Hot Picks. Guest number 2 for the season.
Hip hop, a hibbit to the hip.
And it was your one and only.
Hit the bang bang, boogity up, stop the boogity, the rhythm of the boogity beat. On the C, there's no one, the rest is no overfly.
Hip Hop Hot Picks, session 1.
Hippopotamus.
Session 1. So, guest number 2 for the season.
That's right.
Your one and only Reese. Now, I remember standing in my shed probably 2 hours before recording that episode, and Reese going, "Holy fuck, man! Like, I don't know what to pick here." And then by the end of that episode,
good picks, though. Good fucking picks for on the floor.
Good fucking picks.
It was.
By the end of that episode, we had a third.
I want to hear another one of them.
Third host to Fireside Yarns.
Halfway through of it. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's a.
And this episode 6 or episode 5? This episode 5?
6.
Okay, this episode 6. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
fuck yeah.
That was a big call out, I think. After the hip hop episode with Reese, we had the COVID-19 episode.
Lockdown in Australia.
Which is another one that we sort of stood back and went, this could make or break us with our position on it. And it was a hot topic at the time. The
CMFEU protest that just happened.
It had.
The War Memorial protest that happened the day after. It was we were looking through our list of transgenderism, fucking, you know, this race, you know, all of our 20 topics we could possibly talk about, but we went with the current event, the thing in the news, the elephant in the room. And yeah, like you said, we have friends on either side of the aisle when it comes to the political aspect of it, as well as the scientific your own investigating side of shit. But again, love for everybody, but we approached it and we took a stance and we hit it, and I think we did all right. It was one of our most popular episodes as well.
Look, it was. I think it was needed to be addressed at the time. Yeah. Absolutely. With the and as we said from the start, this is no topic off the no conversation off the table. We wanted, and we still want.
I'm a dog killer. Do you not remember?
Yeah. This fella shot an animal of. And here I was going to talk about the Iran banning pets, but this motherfucker is correct, if you can believe it, more strict than Iran when it comes to your pet dog.
But look, we from the get go, and as it's in our bio, no conversations off the table. So the idea with that episode was to try and spark conversation and get some feedback on both sides of the table. And as we can understand, there is some people that don't want to be public with their beliefs. I've had some feedback about that episode, as we all have. Probably in one way or another, not directly to that episode. But it's ongoing, and I think talking about it and hearing everyone's perspective is important. And we followed that up, I suppose, with one of, as we spoke about earlier, but our Nostalgic Childhood Shows episode, which I suppose is a different way of following that episode up, because
it should be episode 21, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
really. The last episode of Fireside. This is serious. This is the lore. This is the folklore of Fireside. There is a whole hour and a half of Fireside yards that is gone. Yeah. That is just is embers. Embers of the yarn.
We cannot get it back. I've even approached
whose fault is that?
IT technicians, and they have said that we can't get it back.
It was devastating.
So
it was devastating.
Oh, it would have been, because it would have been devastating.
It hit me at the end of that episode.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah, we were just going to skip the whole week as well, right?
Yeah.
Actually, in that episode, I know we don't have it now, but you could physically see. Because of Vinno. You could physically see, because of Vinno, the Reese slowly becoming very sick. You could slowly see the reason why he would not be there for the redo of the episode.
Yeah.
Look, and actually, and that scientifically helpful. Be such a thing.
That was interesting, and it would have been fantastic if it had have worked, right? Following the COVID episode.
Thanks to Vinno.
Seeing Reese's treasure. Look, not thanks to Vinno. Okay, look, I will give everybody the inside scoop, right? I've got
scoops.
2 computers. One is a work computer. One is my gaming computer, right? I was using my work computer early on, and it doesn't have the capacity to run what we want to as what my gaming computer does.
Did you hear that, Firesiders? He did not think that the Fireside Yarns was good enough for his gaming computers. Move along.
Not that. Actually, yeah, I'm going to fucking call that out. I don't want Fireside to taint my gaming. No.
See that? Look, it's not even a game to him. You might say it's all a game to him, but it's not even.
Yeah.
The game is here to him. Anyway.
We ran that, and it didn't work. So that was a learning curve for us. Absolutely.
But it was a challenge too.
Following that, we tried another challenge, right? The next challenge we did...
It taught us how to learn with disappointment.
Yes, how to take it on the chin.
But the next lesson we learned was how to interact with people from different time zones. This was Hip Hop Hot Picks Session 2.
Yes,
with our awesome friends.
The one and only.
the one and
Can we
only
raise our glasses,
Steve
motherfuckers?
Breezy. We can raise our
Let me
glasses.
pour it real quick.
Oh, wait. Hold up.
Pour it
Vinno,
out.
Put it down. Actually, no, Vinno, have a little sip to make that a bit safer, please. I want this to be a proper sip. I don't want you to dribble it. Yeah, okay.
Our friend Steve
And the
Hollins
Coke as well. The best type of Coke.
Steve Breezy.
And a new friend to me.
Swagger.
A new friend.
New friend to
That's
you,
cool.
man. But
And
a friend.
all you guys out there who joined the Discord, get into the gaming side of Discord. Stevie actually drops clips in there
Yep.
on the weekly.
But not only
just
that,
me.
he's a recording artist. He's an awesome dude. I can't say enough nice words about the bloke because he's just a
I love
genuinely good
Irish
bloke.
women.
So that was our first time recording on international time zone.
Did we do the cheers?
Yeah, we did.
We'll do another one.
He brought a different dynamic to the show, and we will definitely have him on again. Steve, we love you, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you,
Steve.
for bending your schedule for us. We know you're doing a lot of moving in the new year, but thank you for coming on for that episode because you were guest number 3. But that was the first international guest we had, so that was a learning curve for us all. And we had
It'll always be number 1 to me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're a fucking good dude.
But also,
Following-
that move you're talking about is to the Republic of Ireland as well. So this a motherfucker from, if you look at your map now, right, pretend this is a map on your screen, and I'm going to get this backwards because of the way the mirror image happens. Australia's here, right? Steve's up here in Canada. Okay, so he's gone all the way across the world to Canada. Then he's going to be in Ireland. He's a globetrotting, MCing, Fireside podcasting motherfucker.
But-
Thank you very much.
Look, I'm going to say he's one of the most talented guys that I've ever met, and I've played in a few bands, right? One of the most talented people that I've met, but the most humble, because it doesn't matter how much you tell him or acknowledge his talent, he will always pass that on to somebody else because that's just him. That's just Steve, and that's him since Reese introduced me to him. So, big shout out to Steve Reese, Steve Hollins.
Fucking oath.
The following episode from
Hold up.
Steve's. Go.
Can I have a piss break? It
Look,
is busting. Just a quick little Indian instrumental.
We'll do another Indian instrumental because look, I'm gonna give you inside scoop right now. There is 3 drunk motherfuckers in my house harassing my wife and waking up my kids. So I'm gonna have to go and just tell them that I'll meet them later on.
Alright.
So
that's why-
quick pedal break, and then we're going to go through the rest of season 1 because, look, it's been a fantastic season, and we want to get through it all and acknowledge everybody that we can. So,
Yes.
we will be back after this quick break. Welcome back, everyone, from what has become the longest piss break ever. So we've got some explaining to do. I do.
Days, even.
So what happened the other night was I forgot to hit fucking record when we came back from a piss break. To put it simply, we nearly finished.
What?
We nearly finished the whole episode before I realised, and
Actually, we've been recording for 4 days straight and we're still here.
yeah, we're still going. But
5 minutes ago, we figured it out.
Yeah.
so we tried to go back a couple of times and finish it off, but we were way too fucking drunk. And then I had a dummy spit at myself, and left the boys hanging, and just went and passed out. So
Pretty good.
we were trying to decide what to do to finish this episode, the last episode of 2021, and we decided we were going to come on here and just thank you all for the support you've shown us this year, season 1.
Yep.
We were working our way through all of the episodes and doing a quick recap, but we figured that you guys can go and do that yourself.
Season 1 playlist. Just click on it and just watch away. Just watch away.
There's hours worth of fun and
Yeah, man.
laughs and good times in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to come back and we were going to say, all right, let's just, the bits we had recorded already, well, let's just re-record them and re-talk and re-thank everybody. And it just wouldn't have been genuine. It wouldn't have flowed like it did. So, yeah, instead of trying to hash it out and have it come out next year, let's just finish this season, check out those episodes. There's some pretty good shit in there. And thank you to all the guests in those episodes we missed. They're some of the better episodes too. So,
yeah, big shout out to
Steve Swagger,
Steve Breezy. We had the Hewitt boys.
Yeah,
we
that
had
was a huge
Neve.
episode.
yeah.
Jeez, that was a big testy pop. That
was Testy Pop. Recognition of the Testy Pop, everybody.
Yeah, we had
Vinno's
Neve.
just hit puberty.
Yeah, come on. So thank you to those guys for coming on, and once again, thanks to all the support that you guys have shown us for season 1. It's been an interesting season. I've come a long way. We've picked up a new host on the way, just to roast the fuck out of me a bit more when I don't hit record.
We got another host to not record over here.
The mix will be coming.
Oh man.
Oh mate,
Another lost episode of Fireside.
Oh,
We've done 22 episodes.
We talked
22 episodes.
about that too.
Oh.
We've actually done 21 episodes. 22 now.
Yeah, if that's kind of a lost half episode, we would call it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. Another thing, we didn't get to cheers it off. That was the sadness of it all. We knew we had to end episode 20 somehow.
yeah.
Although we
came
did
in
many a
today
drink.
thinking that I was just going to be drinking coffee because it's daytime and it is the afternoon now.
And the grape juice.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
However, to finish it off,
To finish the year off, to finish the season off, we'll have to do the cheers. But I've got to say thank you boys for fucking for season 1 and having the patience when I fuck up. But
Hey, we've all fucked up.
it's something we've been talking about for a while, and we finally managed to get it to happen, and we're really enjoying it. So everyone tune in for season 2. Keep an eye on our social media and all that sort of stuff. We'll announce when that's about to launch. We're gonna have a bit of a break. Go back, put a new face on everything. Our same pretty faces, but it'll be a slightly different look for season 2. So stay tuned. But to all of you guys around the fireside, to my fellow hosts,
I'll crack this one. It's a freshie.
there you go.
Hey.
And to 2021.
This one's been open since last time. Ooh, tangy, it's well aged.
Warm, Carlton.
Sorry. Season 2, 2022. Sorry, Vinno.
It wouldn't be the end of an episode without interrupting the dude.
I love it.
Let's be honest.
All right, so here's cheers to 2022, guys. Hope it all works out well for you, and we'll see you then.
There's a million things that have to line up, right? You have to be ready to quit.
I hate to break it to you.
I
hit record.
You what?